Hello, Algebra 1 class. These are going to be your notes on how to factor when a equals 1. Before we do that, we need a little bit of background information. So go ahead and take some notes here on this background info. As usual, let's start off with some pretty easy stuff, such as define what a factor is. A factor is a number or term that can be multiplied by another number or term to equal a product. So, in its bare sense, if we have 56, 56 has many factors, like 1 and 56. 1 and 56 are factors of 56. I could say 2 and 28. I could say 4 times 14. And then your traditional 7 times 8. All of those are factors of 56. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to copy that down, otherwise the video will proceed. So for more background information, let's talk about standard form. And we're not talking about standard form of a line, but something called a quadratic. In order to figure that out, we need to actually define what a quadratic is. It's an expression with a power of 2, such as x squared and x squared minus 4 are quadratics. The standard form of a quadratic is written like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. Examples would be 3x squared plus x plus 1. In this case, a is the number in front of x squared. That's the coefficient of x squared. Looking at b, we do not have a number there, but we always know there's an invisible 1 as a coefficient of a number, if there's no number there. And then c would be your constant, your number all by itself. So a, b, and c. What we're going to be doing today is factoring when a is equal to 1, such as this equation. A is 1. If I could just get my purple highlighter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and proceed here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a few of these. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it, otherwise the video will proceed. Before we start factoring, we now have that background information. Let's give you some tools in order to be able to factor. So let's say in this class we have been taking binomials such as this one, and we've been foiling them. And when you FOIL them, we see that that's x squared plus 3x plus 2x, which is 5x, plus 3 times 2, which is 6. So that's x squared plus 5x plus 6. Again, when you FOIL it, just want to make this apparent, you get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. These constants, the 3 and the 2, we can actually use variables to represent them when we're trying to factor something, factor a trinomial. That would be your P and your Q. Let me make this line so it's more appropriate. And so using that same idea, you have x squared plus whatever P plus whatever Q is times x plus whatever P is times Q. Notice in all of these cases we are doing addition. Okay. Now sometimes your coefficients might be negative, so that will change your signs. So take a look at that and copy that down, make sure that's in your notes. Here goes example number 1. Let's say I have x squared plus 6x plus 8. This example you're going to have to submit to me tomorrow as part of your homework assignment. So if you want to do this outside of your notes, you can. Put it on a separate sheet of paper. If I have x squared plus 6x plus 8, I need to figure out what P and Q need to be. Okay, so P plus Q, that's this right here, is going to have to equal the coefficient B. This is going to be P plus Q. So P plus Q is going to equal 6. So you need to come up with numbers that equal 6, like 1 plus 5, and 2 plus 4, and 3 plus 3. All of those will equal 6. You need to come up with P times Q that will equal 8, because that's the C value. So P times Q, that's this piece right here. That's going to give you the C, P times Q. Well, for 1 and 8, I can take 1 times 8, and I can do 2 times 4. Now you need to think, okay, which of these match? I see that 2 and 4 are on both of these. I can add 2 and 4 together to equal 6, and I can multiply 2 and 4 together to equal 8. That means P is 2 and Q is 4. So we have our x's. P is 2 and Q is 4. Let me pull out that highlighter. P is 2. That's where that comes from. And Q is 4. That's where this comes from. Alright, so x plus 2 times x plus 4, when we take those and multiply them together, we FOIL that, we get x squared plus 6x plus 8. We're going to do one more example, so go ahead and pause it if you need to copy that down. Otherwise the video will proceed. So this is example number 2. we have x squared plus 5x plus 7 you got your p times q, and that's going to need to equal 7. 1 times 7 will work. I could just change that to a times symbol. And I believe that's the only way we can get 7. And I copied down the wrong problem. I apologize. Let me fix this part right here. I apologize. That should say 8x. So p times q is 7. The only way to get 7 is 1 times 7. And then when you add those, you get your p plus q, which needs to be 8. You got your x's, and remember it's going to be x plus p times x plus q. P is going to be positive 1, q is going to be positive 7. So there's our answer. We'll go over more examples of this in class tomorrow. Don't worry if it's still a little shaky on this. We're not looking for mastery today. This is just an introduction. Thanks for doing your homework tonight. See you tomorrow.